I'll go a little mad sometimes.
Be afraid. Be very afraid.
They're here.
Hello, Clarice.
He never said that. He actually said good evening, Clarice.
I know.
Everyone gets it wrong. It's like I'm your father. Like, he
yeah.
doesn't actually say that.
Look, I'm your dad, bro.
Then chop your fucking hand off and eat it.
I can smell your cunt from here. We'll go with that. That is a direct quote.
Was she a great big fat person?
Yes, sir. She was a big girl.
It puts the lotion on its skin, or else it gets the hose again. Your dog's real hurt, mister.
Okay, so
You're
hi.
listening to.
I'm a great big fat person. No, wait, I want to say
We are supporting body positivity here.
one of the funniest reads I ever heard in my whole life. You said to me once, you were like, "That'll do, pig," and then but wait, we had like and you were like, "Look, I wasn't making fun of your weight," but then I was like, "No, just acknowledging it." That is one of the funniest things I've ever heard in my whole life, bro. Okay, so
I'm a shady bitch when I want to be. It's okay.
you know, you've learned it.
Oh, what can I say?
Learned it in the art of reading. You're literate, I some say.
You illiterate fuck.
So happy New Year and
Happy
stuff.
New Year, Feliz Año Nuevo.
We're there here. We're doing something very
and
new
happy
today.
birthday, of course.
Thanks. I'm not 25 anymore, you guys.
You're a 26-year-old.
I'm 26. Yeah.
That's crazy. And you're Ginger Rogers now.
Oh yeah, I'm ginger as fuck, bro. Very much so giving Brenda from Return to the Living Dead Part 2 direct inspiration. But
I thought it was the Flatliners. Oh no, that was the look.
no, that's Julia Roberts.
No, but what I mean is, like, the photo you showed me, that was the look you were going for this evening. It's not because that's not why you wanted the red hair.
Oh, it totally is.
The Flatliners?
No, Brenda from Return to the Living Dead Part
That's
2.
what I'm saying. I was like, your look is like your one from Flatliners. We're getting off anyway.
No, that's Julia. That's Julia Roberts. Anyway,
Julia, child.
so today we're doing something a little different that we've kind of been like spitballing doing this for like the last couple of years, and then decided just fuck it. So we're doing Silence of the Lambs, which we announced last week. We announced with Ryan and Gemma.
Yeah.
But I don't think we had decided that we were going to do a commentary on it. So we're going to do an actual like live commentary.
We're going to do a play-by-play kind of thing.
Exactly.
It's good.
Which is kind of like, I kind of always nearly argue for that when we're doing reviews, but then we're like the queen of tangents or whatever.
Yeah.
So
St.
yeah, I
James,
think like it'll be
Reed,
easier to like go along. And plus this is like, I feel one of our more referenced movies just in our friendship.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
Like we talk about this all the time.
Where will it tickle you?
And by the way, love your suit. You're such a bitch. So I will give you guys a countdown. So if you want to watch along with us or listen along with us, bear in mind this is also very experimental. So
it could go really well or it could go horribly wrong.
yeah,
I mean, either way, we're going. We are quite literally playing it scene by scene.
play,
So like,
yeah.
I mean, like, even if like you're off bit by bit, you're still in the same scene of it as us if you're playing it from the beginning now.
yeah.
Anyway,
Unless you start
so-
like 10 minutes after we say.
Exactly, yeah, exactly. So, in general, we'll give a roundabout, and then Lee's going to count you down, and then if you want to watch along with us and hear our commentary and some fun facts and general shite talk about this movie, I guess it's going to be a good time. So, yeah, you're
So this
listening
is-
to...
They're here, and yeah. This is, you fucking asshole. So this is Jonathan Demme's Silence of the Lambs. So if you want to press play on go. So 1, 2, 3, go.
Yeah. Boom. Metro Golden. Yeah, so this movie, I actually wanted to kind of really talk very specifically as to why...
Orion Pictures doesn't exist anymore. I think this is actually the last movie they made.
But they did really well with this movie, though.
I know, but they didn't know that was going to happen.
Yeah, that's true. They made a gamble with it, actually. But I want to very quickly talk about, like, the reason as to why this movie in particular is the one that's, like, sort of... like, almost like a magnum opus, shall we say, of, like, horror movies. And it's obviously debated as to why it's a horror movie, and it's also what you call it, like a thriller movie.
Jodie Foster. I think to discount this as a horror movie is
You're in the
ridiculous
wrong genre, first of
because
all.
we have Buffalo Bill and we have Hannibal Lecter.
Yeah, we have a trans person.
That's
horror.
An alleged trans person. So yeah, this one kind of swept the Oscars in 1991, which again is kind of huge for horror in general, and why I feel like I and so many other people really cling on to this as a horror movie, because it's like, give us this. Like, this is one that was heralded by everybody, and I feel like this one really broke into, like, mainstream appeal.
Yes.
And, like, it became kind of a big deal.
Oh my god, she's so young there. Look at her pulling herself up there. Go, Jodi!
I actually fucking love her in this movie. Like, she's one of my favorite movie characters of all time. She's written so well. And one thing I will say is that, like, when she came out at the Oscars or whatever it is, it was like... Bitch, we've been done now.
Oh, we've been done
I
now.
saw Silence of the Lambs. I saw you in your trousers and flat shoes. You know what you look like with your cheap bag and your flat shoes? You look like a dyke.
I will say,
turtleneck.
This scene is very indicative, specifically just because this entire film is sort of an uphill battle for her.
Yeah.
Specifically, first of all, because it's the 80s, right? It was
91.
like 91, so like you're just coming off of the 80s. It's a powerhouse for men in the FBI, first of all. She is technically disadvantaged. Chris Isaac. She is technically disadvantaged because she's merely just seen as a woman.
Yeah.
And that, like, she's incapable. And the whole time, like, her superiors above her constantly shoot her down.
He's also trying to fuck her super hard. Chilton, when she gets to the Institute as well. He's like,
yes, go, Jodi! Swing
this
yourself over
can
that.
Be a wonderful time if given the right guide or whatever. And she's like, I'm not going to fuck you.
Yes.
By the way. Also, what's his fucking name?
Starling!
Whoever's office she gets pulled into now in a sec is also trying to fuck the shit out of her.
Yeah.
Oh, Crawford, yeah. Jack Crawford's a trainee to me.
Yeah. Yeah, so... the whole thing about the Oscars, I actually really do want to, like, very quickly touch on that. So the whole, like it just got so much of a big buzz. Actually, come to think of it,
I'm actually going to look up to see exactly the awards,
because I know they were nominated for they call it the Big Five.
Best
which
Picture,
is...
Best Actress, Best Director, Best Supporting Actress, I think.
Music by Howard Shore. Go on, Howard!
But you can see, actually, they on Colleen Atwood, costume designer.
Colleen Atwood.
We can see a lot, even like in the background, that they pay a lot of attention to have her kind of be stared at and leered at by men.
Yes.
We get a lot of that in this.
You get a lot of shots of the camera pointing down at her rather than towards her or above at her. You know, it's made. It comes across in that way that it's like, even the scene, like every single person in that room is twice the height of her, and like I mean, it's just there. It's very obvious that's Tom Harris. It's very obvious that it's a male dominated area. Like the way it's shot, you know.
This scene in particular.
Yes, exactly.
Look, they all stare at her, and she's like very definitely, like, she's a foot shorter than everybody in this scene. So they won the Academy for Best Actor, Best Picture, Best Actress, Best Directing, and Best Writing. That's huge for a horror movie. And
I will say, since then, no horror movies at all.
No, horror really doesn't get, like, I think actually we'll have to talk about this, like the kind of history of horror and the Academy.
Yeah.
For some reason, I don't get it. Like, I really don't understand why horror is so ostracized. Even though it's probably the most profitable in terms of low budget, high reward, high income. I just don't get why it's so ostracized. You know, it's like I think it.
Just give Toni Collette her Oscar.
Seriously, but no,
that is a crime.
Yeah. Hannibal the Cannibal. And I can definitely see why. Oh, my dog is just...
I was waiting for you to say that.
I was watching this, he skins his humps. I was watching this movie with my dogs one other night, and again, like, I like randomly quote this movie all the time, like, even by myself, or even like when I'm with you, like, we do it back and forth.
Yeah.
But just was like, Dr. Lecter. And my dog does not like that. Like, it really freaks him out.
So... the whole kind of
There she is, Frederica Bimmel.
hey,
icon.
Frederica. So the whole kind of point or the plot that's sort of driving this part so far is basically that the FBI is trying to track down a killer known as Buffalo Bill.
Yeah.
And the reason why they call him that specifically is because very quickly he kidnaps, he beats the ever living shit out, skins his victims, and then leaves them for dead.
God, he's so hot. Not Buffalo Bill.
Crawford,
yeah.
So, like, the whole purpose behind this film is that she's given an unbeatable case because they don't believe in her skill set.
But they also give it to her because she's a woman.
Yes, exactly.
You know?
The director and the writers were trying to, like, push this sort of, like, you can't discount anyone just because of sex, race, religion, facial characteristics, any of these types of things where you look at them and you go, well, that's kind of how it is.
She's very, very clever in this movie because she kind of also goes against the FBI in a way where,
yes,
like they kind of fuck her over in a way where they give him a fake deal, but she also doesn't know it's a fake deal. I don't think.
Yes.
And then that makes him not trust her. But
Hannibal the Cannibal.
I'm gonna do that a lot in this movie. By the way,
this sort of scene obviously is just trying to introduce, like, you don't spook very easily, you don't scare, all that kind of thing. But, like, the way that it's shot between him and her,
it's very intimate.
It's intimate.
It's the same way it's filmed with her and Lecter.
Exactly. And it's doing that thing where you get basically the close-ups of her and she's sort of locked into the frame.
Yeah.
Whereas
like you're eye to eye with her almost.
Exactly. Like, the shots of him is he gets the desk, he gets the shoulders, all of that, he's messing, and it's all face to her, it's all shoulders and face, that's all you get with her, and the rest is blurred. It feels and looks like
she's boxed
wide
in.
shot and she's boxed in by the camera, and her confines, so like it is homing in on that, you know.
I fucking love her accent in this movie.
Wow.
You are ever his taste.
Tell him nothing personal, Starling. That's true. Like, how quickly he does that whole, like, white trash complex with her is...
The FBI.
It's very creepy.
There he is, Chilton.
So this guy, I sort of have a problem with because, I mean, first of all, he's just not very
to catch one in
likely.
captivity.
He is an ego trip.
Oh, for sure. Even at the end, he's like, I'm Dr. Chilton. Like, he's introducing himself to reporters and stuff like that. At the end, I just did it again.
He keeps bopping his head on this thing.
I'm gonna pull a Ryan.
Go on, do it.
This way.
Do it. Get comfortable, bitch.
Dr. Chilton.
Dr. Chilton.
And, you know, she actually uses that, like, female allure to her advantage a lot in this because, like,
she's very demure.
No shade to Jodie Foster, but, like, one thing I find unrealistic about this is that every man that she ever comes across is like, oh yeah, give me a bit of Jodie Foster. Do you know what I mean? But like this, she charms Chilton into kind of letting her go in on her own.
Yes.
You know, even he's like, oh, you might have saved me to walk down here, and she's like, yeah, but I wouldn't have had I wouldn't have had the joy of your company, and stuff like that. You know, it's not a charm school.
Like, again, like, there's another misogynistic kind of thing. Like, he just straight up is like,
you dumb woman,
you dumb bitch.
Yeah.
Just purely because you are a woman.
He ate her tongue.
Like, you shall understand, sure. That accent is brilliant. She did that really well.
Oh, unlike fucking Julianne Moore in Hannibal, the sequel to this, which always really annoyed me that she never came back for it. Just because, like, her and Anthony Hopkins have such
good chemistry.
They do, and that's the thing. It is like, oh, he shows her the face. You know, she looks like the younger brother from Lizzie McGuire.
Yeah, it's true. So, this lovely little descent into madness, shall we say?
Into, like, actual, literal, like, bedlam.
Yeah.
Like, it looks like an old, like, it looks like Carfax Abbey from Dracula.
Oh
like,
my god.
crazy. Now, this guy here, who is I can only ever think of him as the quote unquote beautiful chocolate man from White Chicks. He's in all of them.
Yes.
He continues on. He's also in Hannibal and Red Dragon.
Mm-hmm. I gotta give it to them. So the way this film is shot is just, it's so beautiful. Like, how
Like,
quickly...
this is a dungeon.
This is basically like the rocky end of, you know, the insane asylum.
It is. This is like what you think of when you think of like an insane asylum. Not like a mental
you also
hospital.
have the dream tree in the background.
Yeah.
From a certain African culture that I cannot put my phone to, but I know that because that showed up in the Batman movie with what's his name? Nicole Kidman was in it. Can't remember which guy.
With Clooney?
Val Kilmer.
Oh, Val Kilmer.
Yeah, because he's having trouble sleeping, and she gives him her dream doll.
Yeah.
That's the exact same one.
Oh, the little T-pose in the back. Yeah.
I love this walk down. Like, right up until this point, she's told the last time someone went in, he ate the face off of her.
Now, this guy actually looks kind of more what Lecter looked like in...
The book?
No, in...
Manhunter?
No, I actually haven't read the book since I was in, like, second year.
I'd love to read the book. I haven't read the book.
It's good. Yemi, if you're listening, actually has my copy of Silence of the Lambs. There's multiple Megs. You cunt.
I can smell your cunt.
Oh, no, this is like my most quoted. He looks like a shark or something. It's like... because he has the glass, like it's so much more intimate, and it seems so much more like he like he could just reach out and grab her. Yes, sir.
Oh,
this expires in 1 week.
so the one thing I always love about this scene, it actually reminds me of that funny soap ad when he
Closer.
So he plays obviously himself again in the ad, right? But the glass is so clean that when he walks straight into it. And then the soap ad just appears.
That expires in 1 week.
I'm still in training at the academy.
Jack Crawford's a trainee to me. Yes, sir.
I'm here to learn from you. Maybe you can decide for yourself whether or not I'm qualified enough to do that.
You wear all lead on and Evian skin cream.
That is rather slippery of you, agents, darling.
Playing to his vanity.
Sit, please.
Like, I would love to have a conversation with him.
Yeah. The one thing I love about his performance is Anthony Hopkins, when he plays Hannibal Lecter, he has this sort of glassy-eyed stare.
Yeah.
That it's sort of slightly reminiscent of Kubrick's Berserker stare from the bathroom scene.
Cunt. See, I myself cannot.
I myself cannot.
Oh, it's so good. You wear all lead on and Evian skin cream.
You use Evian skin cream,
God damn.
and sometimes you wear lead,
But not today.
but not today.
So, I know that when he was
The Belvedere of the
discovering
Belvedere.
like how to how do I say it? Like come up with the characteristics of this, he used 3 references. He used a male poet, a female's voice, and he also used the voice of Hal from 2001.
Yeah, just monotone as fuck.
Just monotone as fuck. And like he does it really well, because like you can see that when he talks, the eyes are the ones that do all the acting.
Yeah.
And then his smile like sort of never changes. Even if he's angry or even if he's upset, he's still smiling the whole time. So it's really, really good. And it's unsettling. And again, there's another thing that
That shot always was weird to me. It looks like he's comped in, or it looks like there is no glass in front of him or something.
he has this sort of thing, like, again, it's shot where it's sort of shot from her angle, where it's below him
They
and
say
it's
he likes
above
to
her.
skin his humps.
Kansas City homicide. They said, this one likes to skin his humps.
Oh, this is a great line.
Why do you think he removes their skins, Agent Starling? Throw me with your acumen.
With your acumen.
What is an acumen?
I don't know, like wit or knowledge or something.
Trophies from your victim.
I didn't.
I did.
No, you ate yours.
No, you ain't.
And he's like, that stings him though. He's kind of like, oh, bitch, you got me there.
He does it really well. He is intimidating as fuck. I gotta give him that. Even though she is wholeheartedly protected from him right now.
And he's only in this movie for like 10 minutes or something.
At most,
And he
yeah.
won Best Actor for it.
Yeah.
You know? But like that's why I think like you can't discount this movie as a horror movie, because Hannibal Lecter is undoubtedly a horror icon.
Oh, absolutely.
You know?
Even if you don't realize he is, how do I say it? Like, if it's
blonde
not
little
his
tool.
face with blood around his mouth, it's the half mask that he
It's
wears.
the half mask. It's
Yeah.
a classic Halloween like costume.
Like,
I don't
even
know
if
how
you've
many
never
people-
seen this film,
Yeah.
you know where it's from.
I know hella fucking people back even in like primary school and stuff like that. We'd have like Halloween or whatever, and people would wear that mask with just regular clothes. Mm-hmm. You know, like not even as a Hannibal costume. You know,
Yeah.
just because it's iconic.
So desperately to shed pure West Virginia.
Pure West Virginia.
He's a coal miner.
Sustainable land. You know how quickly the boys found you. All those tedious, sticky fumblings in the backseats of cars, while you could only dream of getting out.
Getting anywhere, getting all the way to the FBI.
God,
That
those eyes.
little flare at the end, I love it.
Yeah.
And she's good.
High-powered perception of yourself.
So this one line is arguably one of the most infamous lines in horror history. Is that one where he just looks her deadpan like a fucking shark.
A census tenso would take one to test me. I ate his liver with some fava beans and an iced Chianti. Oh, it's so good.
Honestly,
Wig.
like, hearing that sends shivers down your spine.
It is. It makes him kind of creaturous or like a monster or something.
Mm-hmm.
Fly, fly, fly. Agent Starling! Agent Starling! Oh my god, and she gets the cum thrown in her face.
Oh, I thought it was shit.
No,
I
it's
couldn't
cum.
remember.
Wait until you... Oh, it's so obviously cum. I bit my wrist so I could see. Or die. Wait.
Oh my
Agent Starling! Agent Starling!
Oh god.
It is weird. Like, one thing like I kind of find odd is like I feel like you could have dinner with Hannibal Lecter and have him not, like, it's not guaranteed that he'd kill you. It's that like we kind of find more about how he is in society in Hannibal in the next movie, where he eats and kills the piano player in a symphony because he's off one note,
Yeah.
you know, or at the end where her friend is like, oh, like he's gonna try and come for you, and she's like, no, like he would consider that rude.
Yes.
You know, like
Yes.
he has like a really weird, almost it's almost kind of Jigsaw in that way, where I feel like Jigsaw is more, and he's like, I'm not a murderer, and it's like, but you are though. You actually
Yeah.
straight up are. Like, I don't know, I like villains that have kind of a weird like moral code where, like, I'm sure in Dr. Lecter's head, I'm like literally referring to him with the correct title and everything. I'm sure in his head, wait, I love this. Hey, Daddy, and he goes, "Hi, Clarice." He sounds like Goofy or something. Wait, Daddy. Hi, Clarice. That's another line I'll randomly throw out when I'm talking to my dogs.
Yeah, so I will admit that especially like a villain. Now, to be fair, obviously Hannibal Lecter in this film is not the actual villain. Well, he's sort of half the villain, but he's not the main villain of the
He
storyline.
becomes it at the end.
Yeah, so like I like the fact that I can respect him,
He's got good taste, so to speak.
so to speak. Yes, but he does it very well, and he does it powerfully. So in a way that you can respect him as an evil villain. And he has more character depth to him than most people would.
Like, he's
you
not
know?
a Michael Myers or anything like that, where, like, again, we love Michael Myers in this house, but, like, there's something, like, extra creepy about somebody who can, like, articulate to you, and somebody who has a very definite plan. We, like, the kind of key difference between Hannibal Lecter and somebody like a Michael Myers, or somebody like a Jason Voorhees,
Yes.
is that, like, there's like, huge intention behind why he's killing you. Like, it's not mindless, and
Yes.
like it's like the raptor from Jurassic Park thing. It's like, it's one thing being creepy and scary, but then there's one thing being creepy, scary, and intelligent,
Yes.
where he's kind of always one step ahead. You know, I remember the first time I saw this, I think I watched it like on TV with family or something. Like, this was another one where I wasn't allowed to watch it, but it was one that I like had, like, the video, like the VHS box, and the cover at the back is the guard strung up like that, like the butterfly with the guts open and stuff, and obviously, like, that iconic cover with Jodie Foster in the front with the death's head on her mouth. It was just one of those movies that, like, intrigued the shit out of me, where I was like, what is this?
Yeah.
You know, or like, it would, like, my uncles and stuff like that used to have, like, watch parties where they would, like, have people over, or like all the uncles would just sit in the cinema room and, like, watch horror movies and stuff, because all my uncles are big horror heads.
Yeah.
Which is, like, how I got, like, a lot of my, like, intro was watching these things on VHS, like, sneaking them, or, like, you know, you're left in the sitting room at a party or something like that, and you're like, well, I'm gonna fucking watch Nightmare on Elm Street today, or whatever it is. I would get little, like, snippets of this, and it used to kind of bore me as a child, because it's weird, not a lot happens. Do you know what I mean? It's a lot of investigative stuff.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of, like, big
Spooks or scares.
exactly, there's
or
not a lot of
gore,
that shit,
a
but
lot of
I
that.
really enjoy this movie. I said to you earlier before we started recording, this is one of those movies I can turn on and turn over and go to sleep to, because it's
Really?
but it is. It's there's something very, like, relaxing and kind of dreamlike about it, where, like, a lot of because we were saying the dialogue a lot is very, like, intimate and very
Yes.
it's very ASMR almost.
I actually, like, just sort of bouncing off
Can I
of
vape in
that.
here?
Yeah, of course. Just like sort of like bouncing off of that, like that thought process of the video cover. That video cover is, as you said, obviously it's iconic,
Yeah.
but like it's inspired by some of the paintings by Salvador Dali.
Yeah. We also get
and-
that on the cover of The Descent.
Yes, that's
it.
true.
It's the skull, the death's
With
head
the people?
thing. Yeah,
Yeah.
It's I think if you actually zoom in on the cover of this, they do have the Dali reference where it is the women.
It's the people.
It's all the
yeah,
women on top of each other, feet out, to make the skull shape of the death's
Yeah.
head moth.
And I like the other thing about this film, which I think it makes it much more better than just like your usual horror movie with a murderer and like killing, teenagers off one by one. Which, in fairness, most of that is absolutely fine.
This
But
is just kind of that, but for
more intelligent,
a more sophisticated audience,
Yes.
so to speak.
I was just about to say that, like, it's more intelligent per se, where you sort of have to use your brain more to kind of understand and get a feeling of what's actually going on.
I mean, it's a murder mystery. Like,
Yes.
it's almost noir, in like tone.
Yes.
Where it's all about, like, the story unfolding. Sorry, we're, like, kind of not even commenting on what's going on.
Yeah.
So this is she ripped her lovely wool trousers. Look dyke.
God damn it.
She's got loafers on under there too. Now this to me is like a dream thing to stumble upon. Just like somebody's stuff.
Oh, yeah. So,
The warehouse. This is the yourself. This is her first clue that she's figured out.
so that's obviously a Hitchcock reference right there. That bald eagle
Birds.
thing. The birds. Look at that. So this is one thing that I've always loved the idea of doing, is just walking into someone's
Storage shed.
And
It's
just
like
like finding a load of amazing shit.
It's like the tempting part about breaking into somebody's house. It's not the idea of stealing things. It's the idea of going through somebody's stuff.
Yeah.
You know, and with this, it's like she really is like, she's almost looking for treasure. You know, but like look at that. You know.
Oh, it's a Bentley. No, it's not a Bentley. It's a Mercedes.
I think it's a hearse or something. Or no, yeah, it's a really old car.
I love it. Gorgeous.
For real. Like this is like I don't know. This is like the stuff I kind of dream of. The idea of being able to like rifle through somebody's stuff. See, this is.
Oh, you're right. It is a hearse.
Yeah, that's why I think it's a hearse because it opens at the back.
Yeah. Oh, it definitely is. Look at the flowers. Yeah.
No, it's not. But like those, yeah, those are the suicide doors. The ones that open out to the front, not the ones that open like towards you.
Oh no, it's not a hearse.
It's not a hearse.
It's just
an
a
old
fancy
car.
old car.
Yeah, it's like an old Rolls Royce kind of.
So
this is it's the T girls. This is the T girls collection.
Yeah.
She's got furs up in here. You know, she died with lashes on. She did though.
Did you ever see that the suicide of Dorothy Hale? I know this is like completely off topic, but the suicide of Dorothy Hale. So she climbed the Empire State Building and she leapt off.
But she didn't die straight away, did she?
No, she died immediately. She was in. Gorgeous. Look, she even put a lash on.
For real.
That's it.
Sorry, what
That's how we roll. So the suicide of Dorothy Hale, it's actually pictured in one of Frida Kahlo's paintings. So she was known as the most beautiful suicide.
Didn't she like land on a car or something?
She did.
Like that? Yes, I have seen this.
And it's a gorgeous photograph of her, and she looks like she's just sleeping.
Yeah.
But when they lifted her from the car,
she fell apart.
She just fell apart.
Yeah, I remember this.
And like because the car is like completely crushed downwards.
Yeah.
It literally, and it's like the car is molded to her body.
And
it's a beautiful
like
photograph
of
it.
I always joke and say that like if I'm going to die, I want to go out in like a really epic way, like something that people will like tell, like that somebody will tell a story of for like a million years or something.
Yeah,
the idea of being like struck by lightning in the middle of the street in front of a crowd of people or something is like it's so. To Valhalla, like it's such a
to Valhalla,
but it is. It's such like an epic way to go, or like being eaten by a shark or something like that. Something that people will like tell a story of. I don't know. I'd like to meet a shark one day.
What was that old poem? That messed up old poem about what's that suicide? Do you remember that one?
Don't kill yourself, bro. Okay.
And now a word from our sponsor, BetterHelp.
I mean, look, this doesn't even look that terrible. I mean, like, it's obviously terrible because he's in, like, basically solitary confinement. But he's got a TV. But I love that at the end, or, like, a little bit later on, they, like, punish him with, like, evangelical, like, TV or whatever like that.
Yes.
They just turn it all the way up so he can't sleep. Benjamin Raspail. Now, don't quote me on this, but I'm pretty sure Benjamin Raspail is... Gary Oldman's character in no, that can't be.
If you didn't kill him, then who did, sir?
Wait, it's in Hannibal where he goes after Gary Oldman's character. You know the guy like with the face that's all torn away.
His lover.
He like fed him his own face, or whatever like that. The fact that Hannibal's like, you want to do some poppers? You know, and he does poppers with Gary Oldman and feeds him his own face. Or no, Gary Oldman like cuts his own face off. He like tricks him into
doing it. He can't feel it, yeah.
Which happens to me every time I do poppers.
So this is actually something that I actually do want to touch on specifically with this film.
Yes.
Is the because like recently there's a controversy about people talking about the Jeffrey Dahmer series, and having it
this
attached
is an LGBT movie.
Having it exactly on Netflix, it was attached to the LGBTQ
queer people can be rotten too.
So that's exactly what I like. Very quickly, if we could touch on that, because that's exactly what this film also touches on as well.
Well, people were pissed that but she even says in this movie about when they're talking about transsexuals, because like that was the term back in the day, was that like transsexuals are usually very passive, like stuff like that, So I don't think that this movie is necessarily condemning trans people whatsoever, because they actually differentiate to say that Buffalo Bill isn't a transsexual. He just thinks he is. Because he was so there it is. He's being punished with the evangelical station. He was rejected multiple times by clinics for gender reassignment surgery because he didn't match up and because he
failed some of the
suitable.
psycho tests.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know, it's like trans people don't go out and make women's suits, you know, so it's that's not what he is.
So that was my whole thing, especially with this film, and sort of moving away from the sort of the I will say the trans issue that sort of it pops up in this film, more so sort of the homosexual sort of aspect of Lecter himself, and why things like Jeffrey Dahmer was sort of the issue with being associated with the queer community, or just the LGBT and all of that kind of thing. So my issue with that was that like, no matter who you are or where you're from or what sex you are or this or
you
that,
can be rotten.
You can be rotten, and you can be terrible, and you can be capable of genocide all on your own.
And that's one thing that actually pissed me off. I've actually had this conversation a couple of times with different people, straight or not. I actually had this conversation with Ryan on Christmas. Was that, like, I think it's... Oh, I love this. This is where it actually starts to pop off. But with Ryan, I was like, it's dishonest to say that gay people can't do things like this or queer people can't do things like this, because then you're portraying... I know it's a weird roundabout kind of way, and it might be negative, but then you're portraying queer people as meek and and unthreatening. Like, that's not necessarily what we want to be portrayed as, but to cut out and only portray us positively is just lying.
It's just wrong. It's straight up lying.
So I love this girl, Catherine Martin. And she's got a great little... It's also another line I say to my dogs all the time when she rocks up to her apartment. You see this. These glasses, they make him into like a bug. Like, he becomes kind of an insect. And they focus a lot on that at the end where he's down in the basement. But the line she gets when she pops out of her car in a sec, she sees the cat up in the window and she just goes, "Hey, little cheaper." It's so cute.
So, is the cat meowing?
Hey, little cheaper.
A little cheaper. So, the one thing I will say, this is obviously the scene Buffalo Bill is about to...
This is Bundy's tactic.
This is Bundy's tactic. And he basically kidnaps her.
Yeah.
So he falls... Yeah, exactly.
I'm not helping you, you fucking cripple. Get somebody else to do it.
Ain't nobody gonna do that. Ain't nobody got time for that.
It's the fact that she gets into the van.
Yes.
You know, like, she gets in and backs up into it. But then again, it shows that she is innocent and that, like, she's quote unquote a good girl, like the same way Senator Martin is talking about her later, that she is very helpful and stuff.
Yeah, she is. I mean,
it's ultimately her downfall.
Yeah. So
Oh, there he is.
This is another thing that I was just about to say. Is like, this is the first time we're actually seeing Buffalo Bill in the film. Yeah. And this is about what, 40 minutes in. And if even,
yeah.
Oh yeah, 33 minutes in.
33, I bet, yeah.
So basically, he comes across, he does the Bundy thing, he pushes her in there, and then he's just like, "Well,
hey, you better size 14."
And
I love her shirt that he cuts off, though. I'd wear the shit out of that. What? Oh, it's so scary.
Oh, God.
And see, the reason why I think this movie is so scary is because it's so realistic in a way. Like, he just kidnaps her. Like, he doesn't, like, there's no bells and whistles. He literally just kidnaps her.
Yeah.
You know, I love this shirt, though. I think it's got, like, fruit and stuff on it, or, like, birds or something. Oh, yeah, there. It looked like sausage links and lemons or something.
Yeah,
I mean, she's a size 14.
So this is something that, like, I was sort of waiting for Buffalo Bill to show up.
I used to draw that on my hand.
Which?
His tattoo.
Ew, gross.
I know.
What's wrong with you?
We're disgusting.
Gross.
I know. I love his tattoo.
You deserve to die.
Yeah. I mean, most religions are correct.
The cat saw everything.
But
Cat's a primary witness.
He's got a tattoo that I love the idea of, and Violet Chachki actually has the same tattoo. The the spear mark of Jesus. He's got that tattooed on his
yeah,
ribs, and
yeah.
it's got the little blood or whatever. I love that tattoo.
So
Would you fuck me?
So this is actually something that I wanted to point out specifically. I wanted to wait until Buffalo Bill showed up.
Yeah, there's her friend. I love her in this movie.
She's a great fucking friend. She's there to like support her no matter what. Whereas
They got
everyone
those
else
little
is more
FBI
like
uniforms.
out to get her.
The really high waisted,
Yeah,
like with
pant,
the belt.
yeah.
Yeah.
So when it comes to Buffalo Bill, let's break down what is it exactly. So Lecter specifically says that this guy came to him, first of all, for
She's
psychosomatic
gone home.
research.
She's gone back to West Virginia.
She's gone back to West Virginia. And she basically, Buffalo Bill basically goes to Lecter for psychosomatic researching and getting therapy and things like that.
Yeah.
And he recommends that he gets that Buffalo Bill basically just gets a second opinion based off of the fact that Lecter won't
Refer him
for
this
gender
exchange,
reassignment
yeah.
surgery because he believes
Frederica Bimmel, icon.
Oh god, the gore.
There's
Love
another
it.
line later where they're talking to her friend. And she's like, "What would she know, big dummy?" This makes me laugh.
So when it comes to him, so he's unable to get gender reassignment surgery and things
Yeah.
like that because Lecter believes that what did you say, that he only thinks he's
Not a transsexual. He just thinks he is.
So when it comes to that point, that's when he starts to how do I say it, like without like
He goes off.
he goes off, you know.
It's like the start of.
It's the
kind
start
his
of the
rampage.
downward spiral, shall we say?
Like he feels rejected and
Yeah.
feels that this is his only way. Whereas, like I do kind of think it's also kind of ahead of its time to say that to separate him from an actual transsexual or what we would now call transgender, or that trans people or like a trans woman wouldn't physically want to wear the skin of women.
Yes.
You know, like it is different. They do differentiate that. And they don't ever I don't know, they don't ever kind of refer to Buffalo Bill as a woman or anything like that because they do make that distinction.
Yes.
Like he's always referred to as a he. Which again, I don't know how they would do that if they did this today, but it's also it is a huge part of the story. You know.
The other thing I want to point out actually is this conversation goes very quickly into, especially from Crawford, he immediately suspects that this man could be a person of colour. The abductor is a person of colour, because at this point obviously they don't know who it is.
Which is also dumb, again, that's not really serial killer MO.
Yeah, because
they hunt within their, she says it herself,
it's exactly
their
that.
ethnic groups.
She puts that out there as almost as a defensive mechanism to be like, well, hey, look, you're wrong because you're clearly sexist and racist.
Yeah.
So like he continues to question her, and then I was about to say she babbles on, but she explains.
But she does. She never kind of just lets him like get it over her.
No. Like
I love this scene too. This is another great example of Clarice versus like the male world or like the male gaze.
Yes.
Because she gets into this room and even Crawford kind of he wants to have the conversation without her in the room, or he wants to have it away from people, and it's kind of supposed to be inferred that he's doing that because these are quote unquote like country folk, that he thinks that they wouldn't really respect the fact that Clarice is there, or the fact that Clarice is kind of in charge a little bit, or that she has a little bit of power or whatever. Say they don't want to talk about the fact that it's a sex crime in front of Clarice.
Yeah.
You know, and then I like that. Just
that's exactly what he's doing right now.
Exactly, and just after this scene, she kind of says like, yeah, like don't do that. Like other cops look to you for how to act. Like, don't do that in future. And he kind of he takes it on, and he's like, look, I wanted to just kind of play up to them, and it's like, okay, but you still left me in the room with all these guys, and I'm pretty sure we get a shot. Yeah, this rotating shot, and it's just a room full of men all staring at her. I would let any one of these men drown me in cum.
Yeah, so like I mean, like again, here's that close-up shot. It's almost as if she doesn't have room to breathe in this section, because like she's boxed in. She's quite literally boxed in by all the men in the room.
And she does stand up for herself at one point, and she gets really country. She's but she get, oh, here it is, the flashback to her dad's funeral.
Oh. So yeah, I do appreciate the fact that even See, this is like this sort of almost like it's not that writers nowadays are not that great, but like writers nowadays have a thing where like, yeah, we do need to have great representation in X, Y, and Z and blah blah blah, but when it comes to something like this is how you do good representation with good writing.
Like, she's not like there's no
I
sense
don't
of
need
like
women power. I just need her
say,
to do better.
There is no sense of like girl power in this movie.
Yeah.
She just is the best one for the job.
Yes, exactly.
And, you know, I do like it later because the only one that does really understand her is her
friend.
is her girlfriend.
Yes,
you know?
exactly. Her girlfriend.
No, but you know what I mean? Like, she's the only other kind of female character in this movie.
Yes.
Really, you know. I mean,
Yes.
you get a couple of people that she interviews later. And the victims, but
that looks nothing like young Jodie Foster. I'm just saying now.
Young Jodie Foster looks like old Jodie Foster.
Looks like old Jodie Foster, exactly.
Seriously, I saw Taxi
smaller.
Driver, you know. But I love she gets extra country in this, where she's like, "Go on now," and she kicks everybody out.
Oh, I love it. But yeah, just like very quickly, just touching on that is like the way that. Like, you don't need don't tell me, show me.
Yeah.
Right?
And I see all these dudes. Sorry, go ahead.
This is one of those moments where I'm just like, tell me.
Yeah.
Tell me. Like, and this, like, her literally telling them to fuck off.
Go on now.
Is.
Well, see, it's different. Like, again, it is. See, like, they're literally looking her up and down.
Yeah.
You get the sense that like these men are all so casual. They're all just having a drink, standing around this dead girl.
Yeah.
That's literally like lying on the slab, and
last Friday the every month.
But you see that she has kind of the quote unquote feminine touch, and it's kind of like she's being kind of more respectful of the body.
Yes.
Because again, like, this is the funeral home. It's like the family is there, you know. And she kicks all these men out who, like I said, are just. So, oh my god, he has such a snatched waist. All these men are just like standing around being so casual, and she's like, dude, there's a fucking like murdered girl right here.
Well, they're quite literally gawking at her as well, and the fact that like the family is just in the other room, and then they're just
some Vicks, madame.
They're quite literally just, you know, they might as well be leaning
at the
back
office. They're just
on her
shit,
table,
yeah,
on the slab's table, like just leaving their coffee mug beside the dead girl. Like, I mean,
for some reason, I think that's a kind of a thing that happens in horror movies. For some reason, is anytime we see the mortician, he finishes up with the body and then eats a sandwich or something right afterwards.
Yeah,
like he takes off the gloves and
yeah.
eats a sandwich or drinks his drink or whatever.
They're formaldehyde. So, very quickly. When it comes to people like, now this is just early 90s, so like obviously right up until nowadays, like crime investigation has gone,
true crime is huge now,
is huge now, but like seeing this, like especially like putting the Vicks under the nose and things like that,
yeah,
is very good touches to be like, well, this is how this actually happens. And like a lot of things like, oh, you'll walk into the morgue and
like it's not
in
sensationalized
movies,
or anything.
Exactly. And like
if this was made now or even before, this would be a whole like a whole big thing, and they would pull out the drawer in the morgue.
Yeah, like the
smoke,
or not the smoke, the steam from the death, and the body and blah blah.
Like, whereas this, it is just very kind of
she was found in
casual,
water,
you know. But I love this scene. This is actually very telling, and this is another thing you'll kind of notice is she has these giant diamond shaped patterns cut out from her back.
Yes,
we'll see it now in a sec. And this is when she kind of figures out later, she's looking at, when she's in actually this girl, Frederica's room, she sees these diamond-shaped patterns for cutting dresses and stuff, and that's when she realizes that Buffalo Bill is a dressmaker.
That's actually
she's got glitter nail polish. I don't think she's city to me.
Like as she's explaining, like quite literally, like she's breaking down. She's trying not to cry in front of her bosses, but like as soon as she said glitter nail polish, like her eyes just immediately, you know, just
that's city to me.
Up, you know, and
like, it's the idea that this girl was trying to like kind of, she's relating to her in a way where it's like there's something in her throat. It's the idea
it's the dick.
It's the idea that this like this kind of small town country girl was trying to like strive for more, and I think she's kind of feeling bad for it and relating. Also, this poor girl literally actually had to just lie on this slab, and that is a melted down Jolly Rancher that they pull out of her throat.
Is it?
Yeah.
That is something I did not know.
Well, look, they literally have to actually pull it out of her throat. It has to be edible and not taste like shit. Like, that right there is just a live girl. It's not like a prop or anything.
That's a melted down Jolly Rancher.
Yeah.
You're joking me.
Mm-hmm.
The fuck?
Looks like some kind of seed pod.
So, the other thing is, like,
cocoon.
she also mentions that some of her hair follicles are missing, meaning that, like, she was holding up and he pulled her hair out.
Yeah.
And the other thing was that she's
missing nails.
her nails are missing, meaning that she tried to claw her way out of
we
somewhere.
see those later. We see
Yes.
them embedded in the wall, which is like...
It just drives it home, you know? And,
I
like you were
do
saying,
love
it's not
that at the end.
glamorized, you
no,
know?
and see, there it is. We get the big diamond-shaped patches cut out of her thing. Also, they describe her as a great big fat person, and she's literally a size 14.
So, like, that's...
Like, they
yeah.
talk about her like as if she's a whale, and she's just kind of a chubby-ish girl.
Yeah.
But here, this is the scene that's very, very interesting. Where, yeah, see, he's kind of pointing out, and she's like, "Look, people look at you and how to act because you're FBI." See, so like, and you also get the sense that like they don't like Crawford when he walks in because he's FBI, and there's like that kind of thing about like local jurisdiction versus like
FBI.
federal thing.
Yeah.
But then they also look at her like that, but also because she's a woman who has higher authority than them, they kind of look at her like, fuck you.
Yes.
Now,
exactly.
I love this scene in the museum.
Why?
It's
Because there's dinosaurs in it?
Yes, but also, it's one of the only scenes where Clarice kind of is a person, and she's not, quote unquote, on the job, because the guy with the crossed eyes.
Yes.
He's kind of like, so what do you do, like, for fun or whatever? You ever go out for burgers and beer or whatever? And she's like, sometimes. It's like you can see her kind of drop her guard a little bit.
Yeah.
And like it's one of her more like quote unquote like human moments in the movie. See, it's nice, and we get a couple of lines later about oh, it's adorable. See, you know, like she's like, see, I'm big time, and it's like she kind of flirts back with him. Like, it's not creepy. Like, this is one of the only scenes where men have their gaze on her, and it doesn't feel
it doesn't
bad.
feel sexualized or anything. In
Exactly.
fact,
like, it's reciprocal when he
it's
flirts
quite
with her.
revered, you know. Like, I mean,
like,
as
they
soon as
respect
they're
her.
like, Agent Starling. Like,
Exactly.
whoa.
They look at her like, holy shit, you're in the
Yeah.
FBI, not
Yeah.
like, holy shit, you're a woman. Even though he does try and flirt with her, it's not like predatory at all.
Yes.
It's like it's kind of a mutual respect. Somebody fed him nightshade and kept him warm.
Can you explain that to me? Is that how they feed? Like, what does that mean?
I think so. Like, you have to feed moths a certain thing. Also, they're like an Asian moth. You can't just like see
Cheeseburgers and beer.
Are you hitting on me? Yes.
Oh.
See, it's cute, you know. Like,
Yeah.
and when she comes in, they're like, "Oh my god, you're an FBI agent. That's so cool."
Yeah.
The death's head moth. And even at the end, like, it's actually the very last scene, the dude with the glasses, he gets a picture with her friend, and he's gonna like take her picture because they're in the FBI, and she's got her uniform on and stuff, you know. Like, it's adorable. I know this is
Oh yeah, so obviously, like, this scene. Oh, you got the sandwiches. So, like, we're in basically, I was about to say Bill Murray's.
Yeah.
We're in Buffalo Bill's basement.
This
shall
is
we
like
say.
hell. It's so scary. It's literally a pit.
It feels like you could feel, it looks how it feels to be in like a day-old jar of honey.
Now, see that cape, that red and black striped cape. Aiden Zane did a look that was exactly that on Drag Race once, and she
Really?
came out with a death's head moth in her mouth, and nobody really got the reference. You see, look, I do this. I sit in my room naked and I craft, and I sew and I embroider. I, however, don't have a woman in my basement, though.
So this is actually something that I should talk about, is that sort of, how would I say it, sort of free motion use of the camera going through his house. Now, first of all, it's showing the audience, obviously, like,
Look at the snatched waist.
Yes!
Look, Jodie
Word!
Foster's waist. Jodie Foster's waist is this big.
Ah, you could fit a whole fest around that.
You know, the girl that actually played, the girl that plays Catherine Martin, she's in, she was in season 1 of American Horror Story.
Was she?
Yeah, she was a psychologist.
Ooh, did not know this. Everyone had high-waisted pants in those days, didn't they?
I mean, look at, yeah, I fucking love it so
look
much.
at that bell-bottom ass.
Seriously, bro.
Smackable.
Even the dudes have like really, really high-waisted trousers. It's gorgeous.
This is what I'd have to wear now when I join the guards.
Oh yeah.
Catherine is very gentle and kind.
You'll see.
So this is another tactic, obviously, that law enforcement uses, is that they try to appeal to the humanity.
And they pointed out, she even says, she's like, that's really smart, that's really fucking smart. If he looks at her as more of a person and not an object, it's harder to tear her up.
Yes, yes.
This always made me sad. It's when they show the baby picture and stuff. I'm like, oh my god, this poor girl.
Well, I mean, like, the closest we can really think of this in a way would probably be like Madeleine McCann.
Or do you remember those two girls?
The two twins? No,
the two friends that went missing. And they wore like the Man United jerseys and stuff like that. And I'm not sure if they found the bodies or not, but they were two little girls that went missing.
Yeah.
They were Irish. I remember that being like, oh shit, dude.
Yeah, and this is the thing about what do you call it, like serial killer documentaries and things like that nowadays, is back in like the 90s, the early 2000s, it was all about sensationalizing the killer themselves, and
not
it was
focusing
just
on the victim.
and not focusing on the victim. Exactly. And like that's another sort of thing that we touch on, especially with the way the mother reacts, shall I say, because she's like, that's what Starling says, it makes it harder for him to tear her up.
Yeah, if you humanize her and you don't look at her as an object.
Exactly. And when it comes to, especially like Netflix nowadays, I notice so many like documentaries that focus on the victims more so than the killer and things like that. And like, if they ever do find out who the killer was, it's only mentioned in the last maybe 4 or 5 minutes of the entire docuseries. You know, it's
well, so that's why people thought it was so controversial to make the series about Dahmer, because we follow Dahmer as the main character.
Yes.
I actually stopped watching that in the middle of it just because, like, I know the case well enough that I didn't really need to see the rest.
That's actually another thing that
not
I
even
should
in like
point
an
out.
I'm a disgusted way, and just kind of like I know how this ends kind of way.
That's actually another thing that I'd really like to point out, is especially when we're talking about the queer community with serial killers and things like that, is there was a certain scene that I watched, and I think it was the first episode or maybe it was the second episode, where the cops like straight up refused to be like, oh yeah, it's grand.
Oh, it's the second one, because it's when it's the 14-year-old, and he's like, he's 18 or whatever like that, and they're kind of like, look, these are boyfriends, they clearly live together. And because he already had naked photos of him upstairs, they kind of were like, they're obviously in a relationship.
Yes.
And they didn't want to fuck around with like quote unquote that queer shit.
Yes.
So they didn't really look into it at all. And then even when they went in, they didn't want to look around for stuff because they thought they would find like, I don't know, like dildos or like
or
something with AIDS on it. Yeah,
it's true. But that's quid pro. Yes, yes,
Quid pro
yes. Squid pro row.
Yes or no?
Yes or no, Clarice.
So I actually do love their relationship together, because she's like, okay, look, I'm going to have to offer up a little piece of me, the death of my father. She like has to offer up a little piece of herself to find this girl.
Yes.
And this scene actually really explains why she's so invested in this case. It's very good. It's like this is like where we get the story of I don't think it's this. It's where he's in the cell at the end, where we actually get the story of the lambs screaming and stuff like that.
Yes.
And she tried to rescue one, and then he's so sadistic. In the very next scene, and then the very next time we see him, he ordered a second dinner, and it's 2 lamb chops.
Oh,
Yeah,
love it. Oh, he's so bitchy.
it is. It's so it's like such a bitch move. And see, I like this. Is the fact that he's like, like I think that like even if there wasn't glass here right now, he wouldn't do anything to Clarice.
No, because he straight up is like, well, to be fair, I mean,
He's
like,
very
even if
interested in
there
her.
wasn't any glass there, where would he go? The gates are locked at the
No,
other
but I mean,
end.
like even if, like if she
Yeah,
met
like,
him
her
in
safety is
public
not
or something-
compromised.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
if he wasn't in jail and she wasn't. Well, I think like part of it is the fact that she is in the FBI and the fact
Yeah.
that he finds her genuinely interesting. That's what I mean. Is that he like he has like a weird moral code where not even so much a moral code, it's a kind of a respect thing where like he thinks that she like she holds decent conversation. You know, like if she was anybody else, if they had sent in just some random fucking dude, like he wouldn't have given a fuck. You know,
Yeah.
like he's endeared to her because he can see that she kind of works hard or that she is like having to overcome a lot. Or that he relates to her because she's very intelligent, you know. Clever girl.
So this is another thing. Obviously, is the symbolism of a butterfly, which is this
Transformation.
is a symbol of transformation. They also found it in Raspal's head, which always confused me because I did think, okay, maybe Benjamin Raspal was something of a possible lover, or he was.
Well, Benjamin Raspal is a lover of Buffalo Bill.
That's what I mean. Like,
Yeah.
and like he was also dressed up with makeup, which makes me think that
They used to
either
do it together.
they used to do it together.
The girl who's getting dressed up?
Exactly. So, like, the question is, like, you know, that's how it's sort of. How do I explain?
Oh, do you know who it is? Benjamin Raspal actually is a Lecter victim. Benjamin Raspal is the guy in Hannibal. We find out who he is from the past, because Benjamin Raspal is the guy who played a bum note in the orchestra.
Oh, okay.
But that scene scene is before this. This is before Lecter was captured. And that's still a thing now. You can't just go in and get gender reassignment. You have to,
there's a lot of
there's a lot of psychological kind of
Yeah.
hoops you have to jump through.
but you can go on hormone blockers pretty early.
You can go on hormone blockers just because they're easily available, but also hormone blockers are or puberty blockers even are they're reversible. So it's like they're not like a permanent thing. It's just a lot of times. Oh, here it is. It puts the lotion on its skin.
That's whatever it's told.
She's very good in this as well. Gets the hose again. See, he's referring to her as it.
Yeah.
And there's one thing I actually didn't realize until years later after watching this is when he lowers down the basket with the light on it and he's bringing it back up when she sees the fingernails and
Yes.
she starts screaming.
Yeah.
I thought he was doing that to like mock her, but I think in retrospect watching it now, I think he's trying to imitate her because she's doing this and she's like shrinking it with her shoulders and you
Yeah.
can see that he's trying to imitate like her body language and her scream, or like I always thought he was just kind of making fun of her, and you can see here she's starting to get to him.
Yeah.
Like he's starting to like see that she's a human. See, it's that line that always gets me. Like he's upset. Put the fucking lotion in the basket.
She does it very well.
Oh. See, and this is where we see Frederica's nails in the wall.
Oh.
She got really high up though.
She did. She did that.
And see this when he starts to pull out his shirt and to like shrug his shoulders. So he's trying to copy her motions
Yeah.
rather than making fun of her. Oh, it's so creepy. See? They it's weird. Ted Levine, who in regular life I usually find very, very sexy, just because he's got like a really really deep voice. And,
Yeah.
like but it's weird because like he is Buffalo Bill. Like he doesn't he doesn't like put on a voice. Now I think he looks so derpy in that mask though, because the nose is pressed kind of flat. Saying, I'm gonna eat you. You know, like it looks so dumb. Also, I think Anthony Hopkins was literally like 41 or something in this movie.
Yeah, they did make him look a lot older.
Oh, see,
But
how old?
I will say that it puts the lotion on its skin, or else it gets the mineralized blush from Matt.
Yeah, he was 54 in this movie. Oh
God damn!
he actually only turned 80. The
I was thinking that
other
he must be in his
day.
80s. Yeah.
I think he turned 80 something the other day. Also, it's David Bowie's birthday today.
Happy birthday, David Bowie! Whatever part of the universe, past, present, future, or the cosmos that you're in. You know?
Oh, see, you haven't started watching Twin Peaks yet. No, he's the fish in the percolator.
Oh my god!
See, it looks so dumb from the side. You know, it gives me like this weird Voldemort nose.
He would have been a great Voldemort.
Yeah. Oh, well, fucking Voldemort, Ralph Fiennes is the Tooth Fairy in Red Dragon.
Yes.
Also very good in that movie. He's very, very creepy.
We definitely got to do that movie too.
Yeah, sure. I mean, like, we did technically do these out of order because this is not the first Lecter movie.
Oh, yeah, actually, come to think of it, tell me how that works. Like, if you had to put these in order, because there's Hannibal,
the
Red
first-
Dragon,
oh, I'll get it up for you just
and
so I can,
Silence
like-
of the Lambs
Silence of the Lambs is the middle book.
is the middle book.
Hold on. Here it is. Here it is.
There you go.
And he only wears it. He only wears it in this
It's
scene.
only this one scene, and
But like that's iconic. If you go anywhere in like any Halloween store
It's
around
there.
Halloween, it's like that mask is there, and it's in this movie for like 2 minutes.
yeah,
But like that's the iconic look. They put it on him in every other movie after that.
yeah.
Even in like Hannibal Rising, he has like a version of it that's kind of like it's kind of like a
it's
samurai
kabuki.
mask.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they make him. The backstory they gave him for that movie is weird because he's like a weird samurai that ate his own sister and has like a Japanese auntie that he like fucks and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's just strange.
Oh, it's so good though. It's such an iconic look.
Ah, Senator,
Where
love
will
the
it
cut of
tickle
your
you?
throat.
When your little girl is on the slab.
So, yeah, sorry. So break that down for me. How does that work?
Order of the.
Because I know that Starling is
Okay,
replaced.
so it goes
in
Red Dragon. It goes Red Dragon is first, came out in 1981, then Silence of the Lambs, then Hannibal, and then Hannibal Rising. I think Thomas Harris actually directed Hannibal Rising, the writer of the books. It's kind of regarded as like a crap movie, but I think it suffers from the chapter 2 thing that it's compared against the rest of these movies.
Ah, yes, like the momentum is lost in it.
Yeah, I mean it is a shitty movie, but also it's in a very, very good series.
I gotta say, Gong Li though is pretty amazing in it.
That's
She's the
auntie.
Yeah, I love Gong Li. Shout out to you. You're amazing.
Now I love the way she refers to him after he says that thing about her. She goes, "Get this thing back to Baltimore." Did you breastfeed her, Senator? Honestly, the senator is serving cunt though. But it's not. You see, they retroact this in... Like, this doesn't actually match up with Hannibal, but we see in Hannibal, I actually think it's the opening scene of Hannibal. It's Hannibal in the orchestra with a ponytail.
Oh, yeah.
And... Oh. Yes, I did. Tell me, Senator, when your little girl is on a slab, where will it tickle you? Get this thing back to Baltimore. Oh, Senator. Pale blue eyes. My favorite line in this whole fucking movie. Oh, it's 10 out of 10. Love your suit. When he flicks the eyes at the end.
Yeah. Love
what a
it.
bitch, bro.
He's so deliciously evil.
It
I
is
love
like he gives it. It's weird. This movie, for some reason, once it reaches this point, it really starts to roll and it really starts to get quick. Because kind of the next time we meet Buffalo Bill is when she arrives at the house.
Yeah. Actually, come to think of it, my question is now, why? What did it mean for him to lie to the senator? Like, what was the reason for him to have given a false name?
I also think that Buffalo Bill might have lied to him, or because he doesn't trust them anymore, because they lied to him about the deal.
About the deal
So
that
I think he's
Starling
I think
gave
like he's willing to offer the information up to Clarice, because Clarice gave him a part of her by giving him the story about her dad and by letting him into her head. Whereas Chilton, Chilton is like eating it up. Like he's loving the attention,
having it.
Even though like literally she has done all the work. You know, it's
Yeah.
all been Clarice. Even Crawford, we see at the end, he shows up at the wrong house.
Mm-hmm.
You know, she's the one that figures it out. You know. Also, yeah, it's an anagram.
Is he some kind of vampire? So the other thing is
Former porn actor. Sorry,
Lieutenant Boyle.
That guard is so hot.
So the one thing that I will say about it is it also characterizes the. You could to extent the police force, but mainly it characterizes the FBI as very redundant
And slimy.
and slow and slimy and stupid.
Yeah.
In a way that I think again it pays tribute very well to how well it was written. And that, like, again, it's not that I'm suffering because I'm a woman, girl power thing. It all lends itself to writing a really good female lead character.
Yeah.
That
Who just see? It's weird.
that just does it all right.
Yeah,
you know?
and it's not even so much that it's not like a Ripley situation where it was written for a man but just happens to be played by a woman.
Yeah.
It is important that she's a woman.
Yes.
But it's important to Lecter. Like, it's important. Like, she's able to. She has leverage that like other men wouldn't have.
Yes.
That's why, like, in Red Dragon, he's working with Will something.
Edward Norton.
Who I found out the other day, his great grandmother is Pocahontas.
Yes.
Oh my god, dude! I now when I watch American History X, I'm like, ooh, that's Pocahontas' grandkid, bro. But yeah, I don't like the dynamic as much between him and Edward Norton's character in Red Dragon. Also Stephen Lang, who is in Avatar, like the main guy, the bad guy from Avatar or whatever like that, is in Manhunter, and they do that scene again in Red Dragon where it's the investigator and he's tied to the chair and he's lit on fire.
Yes, and he puts the thing down.
Yeah, that's Stephen Lang from Avatar, who is also very, very beautiful.
This is the scene, obviously, that Starling is coming to.
They were screaming.
So she comes to him for, like, basically she's begging. She's like, I know you lied to them. I know you fucked them over. Like, but it's at the expense of Catherine. And
but he gave. It's weird. It's like he gave her the clue, though.
Yeah.
It's because he's like, look, you're almost there. He doesn't want to like outrightly offer it up.
Yeah.
You know?
But she is like, the thing is, like, she goes from being. I like the fact that she goes from being I'm part of the FBI to I'm getting there.
It's personal for
then
her
she
now.
loses it, and then she becomes desperate with the personal part.
Exactly.
And then she's like, I'm going to give you my most personal thing in order to save this girl's life.
Exactly. This is like, she's literally like, for her, this is like chopping off a hand and giving it to him. You know?
Which is why the scene has such weight to it.
And see, like, you can tell it's personal because now, Catherine is, in Clarice's mind, a lamb. You know? That,
Yes.
And they, I mean, they don't hide it very much in this, but, like, see, like, she's desperate. Not because she wants to figure it out for the FBI, but because she genuinely wants to save Catherine Martin.
Yeah.
And, like, kind of alleviate herself of this, like, personal struggle. She thinks that if she can save Catherine, the quote-unquote lambs will stop screaming. She will have a silence of the lambs in
Yes.
her head. Because that's her... they actually did film that scene, but they didn't put it in.
Really? I didn't
the
know that.
flashback of young Clarice sneaking up into the barn and trying to rescue a lamb.
God, I'd love to see that. That would have just made more sense. But then again, I suppose what she describes to me,
They were screaming.
like,
It's very vivid. You don't need the
It's
scene.
vivid and it's visceral, especially like the way she describes it.
I was so scared, but I had to see.
She went downstairs.
I'll actually, if I get the book back off Yummy, I'll give it to you. So you
Oh,
can read it.
absolutely!
It's
I'd love to
very
read
good.
it. I love because like
scared.
you don't need a visual representation. Like
No, like,
also
I can
there's the
s-
Kubrick stare again.
I can
like,
see that
Yeah.
in my head.
Yeah.
Like this, like it's 4 a.m. It's like starting to get like light blue out. It's not
Yeah.
dark, but it's not bright yet. They were screaming. It is weird. I feel like I think it is weird to underestimate the idea of like how much of a personal sacrifice this information is to Clarice, because I take from this that she hasn't told anybody this.
yes.
You know.
I get the feel like this is obviously like this is like I mean like it's the same point as how well acting can be done. Like Jodie Foster saying these lines, I'm convinced that she lived this moment.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's a credit to her because she's a great actress.
She is.
She
That's why I
does
say
so
this
well.
is it's one of my favorite parts in cinema.
So heavy.
That's why I was so pissed that like, and look, I love Julianne Moore, but like I was
It doesn't
pissed.
have the same weight to it.
No, it doesn't, because it I don't know. It's just, it's annoying to me that it's Anthony Hopkins
Yeah.
and somebody else.
Yes.
Like if it was anybody else aside from Jodie Foster, it would have been a letdown. And I like Hannibal. Like I like the movie. He feeds Ray Liotta part of his own brain and fries it up and stuff.
Yeah.
But she's not. It's not the same.
The screaming of the lambs.
Yes, sir.
Do you think if you say poor Catherine, you could make them stop, don't you? You think if Catherine lives, you won't wake up
Yeah, I was gonna say you turn it up a little bit. I can hear it. Like that's perfect.
and off screaming of the lamb?
See, this is where like subtext becomes text, and it is explained out that like it's weird. This is almost like a therapy session for Clarice.
Yes.
Like she gets a lot out of this as well that isn't based on. Have you ever heard of a Jamie gum or a Jame gum? He's smelling it. I'll let it tell. Even the setup of this room, he's in there like an animal. But it's weird because this isn't a cell. This isn't a jail. This is a museum.
Yes.
That he's in, and he's in this like cartoon jail cell where it's literally like it's just a box of bars or whatever, you know. And this little moment where she hands him his drawings, and he just grazes her finger just a little bit. Actually, did you see the drawing he's doing in the next scene where we see Lecter, where he's being brought the dinner? The drawing he's doing is Clarice as the Virgin Mary holding a lamb.
Oh.
It's very good.
So the other thing is like that whole time, like he wasn't being passive and just listening to her. He was analyzing her that whole time. I mean, he is a psychiatrist, of course. So like
Yeah.
he was,
And it's like a mutual exchange.
Yeah.
Like he gets as much out of it as she does.
like what he was trying to do was he wasn't trying to judge her. He wasn't trying to do anything. He was straight up saying like, if you use this
See?
as
Another man staring at her. Sorry.
yeah, oh, like straight up, he literally just straight up gazed at her like that. What the fuck? But like he
Look,
'cause-
sorry. It's just the drawing. You know what? She looks exactly like Kristen Stewart there, does she not?
oh my god!
But it makes
Stop!
but it makes so much sense why they casted Kristen Stewart as her daughter in Panic Room, because they look so alike. Sorry, go ahead.
I'm sorry, I'm actually just delighted the fact that he gets a whole cell in a museum, but he also gets a screen for taking a shit.
And he gets a second dinner.
Fucker gets a second dinner.
He gets lamb chops extra rare.
extra rare. That is
I don't think that's
bloody,
okay.
like, that's like raw.
I don't think you can eat lamb rare. But he also eats people, so. Demanded a second dinner.
Oh, God.
And see, this is very clever, but this is also, this is it's the most Houdini part of it all, where I'm like, there's no actual way he could have gotten that part from Chilton's pen.
Okay, so the other thing I actually have a problem with is how in the ever-living fuck did he get one of those officers pulled up against the highest part of the cage?
I know, but it's the image that springs to mind in my head, like I said about the VHS box.
Yeah.
Of when I saw Silence of the Lambs, I thought, again, because I had no reference for what actually happens in the movie, I thought that he had become like some sort of a moth or some sort of a butterfly, because he's splayed out in that way.
For it, yeah.
And like he is oh fuck's sake.
Jesus Christ, man.
He's splayed out in that way. Okay, so we should just pay close attention here, because I haven't actually ever really tried to. Okay, well, see, there he goes. Yeah, because he gets the handcuffs. Because one of them is outside.
That's just.
Oh, and he maces the other one.
Yes. Extra rare.
No, no potatoes. A baked potato.
A baked potato.
Now this, I just this shot of when he bites the nose.
It follows his mouth as he moves down onto him. It's
and
just
he's got
really cool.
He's got the blood across the face with all the white. But it's when he's just, it's like he's conducting a symphony or something. Like it is. It's graceful. It's almost like a dance. And it's just the spatters of blood coming up onto the pure, clean white. I love that look.
I suppose there's a good amount of payoff with this, considering, like, you're looking at it going, like, well, he is a cannibal, so...
And also, like,
you know...
I mean, it did work out, because that guy's fucked, see?
Oh, straight in
just
the
blinded,
eyes. Oh.
I always thought he bit his nose there, but it's his cheek, actually. But look at that. Like, it's gorgeous imagery.
Yes, it is.
He's like in ecstasy there. You can see he's like borderline orgasming.
Yeah.
Because he's getting to like enact violence again, you know? And we hadn't actually seen that up until now. Everything has just been inferred. Also, that blood is too red.
I don't mind it.
It needs to be a little dark. Internal blood is dark red. That is corn syrup with like... There it is. That's
There's
the color
dark
of blood.
you want.
Yeah.
Give me my right tone blood, please.
This
Thank
is just
you.
like, well, see, that's why I always love Scream
This shot
blood.
is beautiful.
It is. It's his pearl
It makes
moment.
him look like a demon.
It is. Like seriously though, it's because he's so pale and all the white and everything. You know? And why is one of these guards carrying around a straight razor? Like for shaving.
Yeah. What?
Ready when you are.
Where does he pick it up from?
They gave him a rug and everything. Like what the fuck? Right there out of the like it was his thing. Sergeant Pembrey.
Oh, what?
But it's the one that's obviously because he cuts off his face, but it's the one that's there that he like guts and stuff. All the way, I'll see if I can point him out because Chris Isaac is in this scene.
Nobody went up.
Oh, that mustache route. Okay, there he is.
Where is he?
I'll show you now. He's literally in it for like a second. Like we don't even get a proper shot of his face.
It's going back up.
No, this is where the movie for me starts to become a horror movie.
Yeah.
Where is he?
This is where I didn't quite understand how his trick worked here when I was younger.
Yeah.
So he basically cut
Pulls
off
the leather face.
Yeah, he cut off the face of one of the guards, and
when
then
you
he
see
dressed.
it's totally just Anthony Hopkins, though.
With some blood on it.
Yeah,
So
seriously.
I did not understand in my brain when this happened. It just did not compute in my head what had happened. So one of the guards, he cut the face off of them
And just wears it.
wearing the guard uniform, puts on the guard uniform, and then he goes and
Threw him down. This imagery. It's fucking
the
crazy.
Mothman.
But it is that to me like what it was. I thought that's what this movie was about. I had no reference for anything.
No frame of mind for it.
Seriously, just that shot. Oh, like that to me, in my mind, is the iconic shot from this movie. But I understand that it's not generally thought that way. But like that's the image that's on the back of the box. But look, that's obviously Anthony Hopkins lying there.
Yes, so this is what I wanted to chat about. So basically, he had the time to haul a man up to the top of the cage, got him. He had gutted him. And Trey did not like the session. So he had gutted him, but he didn't crystallize. He became a moth. And he was hung up in the
ready
cage.
for the runway.
Badass bitch ready for the police runway. That is very obviously Anthony Hopkins.
It's not even. It doesn't even look like there's a face over top. It's literally just Anthony Hopkins with blood on his face.
I gotta hand it to it though. It is very, very good and very genius of them. And now talk to him, damn it!
You're looking real good. You're gonna be okay.
Can you hear me? So, he dressed the other guard. He sent the elevator down and threw the other guard down onto the top of the elevator.
Just switch places.
And put him in white clothing.
It's actually very clever when you think about it.
It is very clever.
Until
but when I was young,
Lecter's body out and realize that it doesn't have a face.
Yeah,
it only really works for a second. But there's Chris Isaac right there.
Let's do it, eh?
God, he's so hot, dude.
So, like, my little 15-year-old brain did not understand what the hell that was until, do you know what I mean?
In the ambulance,
yeah, because all of a sudden, boom!
Look, it's totally just Anthony Hopkins, bro. That's hilarious.
It just,
I mean, literally all he needed though was just to get out of the building.
Yeah,
because what is it? It's the ambulance crashes or something. He is Michael Myers in that way.
Oh, he just does
very
the
Michael Myers
thing.
episode.
He does the Michael Myers.
I was going to say episode 4. It's in Halloween 4. It's that's how Michael Myers gets out in that one.
But wait, doesn't he die on top of the elevator? He's not dead. That's why they think there's someone up there.
No, they look up and they see the blood up there. They think Lecter is already out, see? So then they look up and they find Lecter's body up above there. Yeah, and they shoot him in the leg to make sure he's dead. But there's no face, so they can't determine if it is him or not.
Yeah.
You know? It is very, very clever when you actually think about it. I like a kind of little twist like this. Over.
Get the fuck out
this thing back to Baltimore.
Love you, suit.
It's so funny. I feel like all of the quotes from this movie come from the last 40 minutes though.
Yeah.
It's like there's that one scene and then see there's Chris Isaac. Fuck me up, bro. I would absolutely let Chris Isaac.
He's in
he's in Twin Peaks Fire Walk with Me.
Oh, okay, that's why I don't recognize him. I love it, Little Mirror. Every time I see that.
He plays... You watched Friends, didn't you?
No. Never. I'm not a Friends person.
He's in Friends, anyway.
As you know from my very small circle of friends.
Oh, he's so fucking beautiful, dude. But in Fire Walk with Me, he plays... what was supposed to be Kyle MacLachlan's character, and then Kyle MacLachlan was like, I'm not fucking coming back for that movie, so they just had him be an FBI investigator from another branch or whatever, and then Kyle MacLachlan is in it for 2 minutes.
Yeah.
But oh my god, he's so fucking beautiful. But in Friends, he hires Phoebe he sees her playing in the coffee house, and he hires her to sing at his children's hospital or at the library or something like that. And she's like, the cow in the meadow goes moo, the cow in the meadow goes moo, and then the farmer comes in and hits him over the head, and that's how we get hamburgers. She just sings all of
Okay.
these like really bluntly, honestly
Yeah.
songs to the kids. There's one about like how your grandparents die and all that kind of stuff.
Oh, okay. So one thing I actually wanted to say that I actually forgot to mention earlier was I was reading a load of like interesting like fun facts basically about this, and two very interesting. Look, it just straight up does a Michael
It
Myers
is.
on
It's
this.
straight
It's
up
Michael
Michael
Myers.
Myers.
But he does this.
Oh my god,
very,
it's the pull away though that gets me.
it's a reveal.
It's a reveal. You just,
It's a reveal on top of a reveal.
this one, she cares about her friend, bro.
She cares about her friend.
I would run that fast for you.
Yeah,
I would make a show of myself and look like an idiot running like that.
So
So yeah, he does. He flips the. Oh, I never noticed that. He robbed a tourist as well.
Yeah. So the
No, he
funny
would
thing,
find
or
that
the
rude.
really interesting.
But that's true. I don't feel like she ever worries about Lecter coming for her,
No,
even at the end.
because I think like they had such a dynamic few meetings
Yeah.
that basically when it comes down to it, he's just like, no, you know what? She's the one.
Here it is. It's like it's the scene. I feel like if anybody talks about this,
It's the scene.
like it's the one that's referenced the most.
But yeah, so Hannibal
Such a good
Lecter
song.
was originally in the run to be played by Sean Connery, of all people.
Yeah, it would be
And I didn't know
ridiculous.
that today, but like I can see Sean Connery doing it.
No, he needs to not be handsome.
Well, I don't know. God, their hair is so 90s. The way they're dressed.
It is. She's literally got like a Laura Palmer hair flip.
She
It's
totally
gorgeous.
is. And then Michelle Pfeiffer, of
Her
all
little
people,
twists.
was supposed to play Clarice, Agent Starling.
It's weird. I don't like. I love Michelle Pfeiffer. Like
Could you see her
like,
playing
down.
it
No, I
from
couldn't.
West Virginia?
No, just because like there is. See, there's something kind of masculine about Jodie Foster as well, which like makes me feel like I know there's that whole thing about like beautiful people can be smart too, but like there and that's not saying that like Jodie Foster isn't beautiful, but there is like a masculine quality about her that like makes me feel like I don't know. I think Jodie Foster, like when I read the book, I had already seen the movie, and it's like I couldn't picture anybody else but Jodie Foster in the role of Clarice.
Yeah.
Now they did make a series just last year about Clarice. Hold on. Hot damn.
He knew her.
Yeah, he covets because what do you covet? Something you see every day.
Yeah.
And see,
Well-
this is so. I also love that she doesn't give this information to the FBI. She goes herself.
So my understanding of it, at least now, is like, again, it's another confirmation of men aren't just shit, feminism great, but like it's an underhanded writing into the scene. The subtext is text, where it's the same situation. Obviously it's a man who has kidnapped a woman,
Yeah.
but like what, you know, when it comes to like what do we see, we cover things that we see, and like throughout the entire film
They didn't cop
literally well, yeah, they didn't cop it, but it's also
No pun
like,
intended.
no pun intended. Yeah, cop a field with it. But all the men have been like in a weird, fucked up way coveting her.
Yeah.
You know, the whole time, and it's only as the film progresses and you start to read into the deeper meanings of it that you're like, oh, holy shit.
And she figures
You
it
know?
out when she leaves all that behind.
Yeah.
When she gets away from all these men.
Yeah.
This again, it's something about this makes me feel bad for Frederica. Obviously, because she's dead, but because like we find when she goes up to her room, she's looking through her stuff. There's like this, I don't know. There's like this sense that she's like this like small town gal who's like trying to like strive for more, or
Yeah.
trying to do what Clarice did and trying to get out a little bit. When they find all these kind of sexy nudes and stuff of her,
Yeah.
that she's like, I don't know, she like has her own little secret life that she has to keep secret, and then it's like cut short. I think that's why or at
it's
least
upsetting.
Clarice, feels bad for her, because she might have been like on her way up, you know, or on her way out, kind of. Again, I think Clarice like really, really relates to Frederica and these girls,
Yeah.
you know, because she's also small town gal.
Yeah,
who actually did make it out.
Yeah, I was just about to say that. I was like, it's more personal for her on a note that when it comes to like these, obviously, I mean, it's women being murdered here.
Yeah.
That I mean, the first obvious connection is that it's a woman investigating it, so there is that connection.
Madonna,
there's another connection. How are you?
also, like, something that I don't think a man might have noticed is she finds this clue in a jewelry box, and not just in a jewelry box, but in a jewelry box that she's pulled behind. So it's like, and there's a lamb right there. So it's something that she might have done as a child, or she might have done as a teenager, that Crawford or somebody else might not have done. Because I feel like a jewelry box, and it's not even just a jewelry box, like, it's not just like a box, it's a jewelry box with a little ballerina that spins and plays music. You know, you really do get the sense that she's done this.
And the thing about it is like, obviously anyone can relate to someone wanting to do more for themselves and go further in life and all of that kind of thing. But it's worse when it's cut short like that, and it makes it all the more terrible considering that she quite literally finds out like this is what happened to them.
Yeah.
And the irony is that even specifically just because it is a woman, that she was commodified and she was used in a way that just really made her an object rather than a person.
And ultimately, like, yeah, she does go on to become that. Now, here is, like, again, I love Clarice, but this is such a jump. Even though she ends up being right, she sees the pattern, like the dress pattern, in Frederica's closet, and she's like, immediately she gets on the phone, she's like, he's making a suit, and it's like, okay.
She jumps to that conclusion.
She does, literally. I like, if I'm not making it the fuck up right here, see, there's the dress form, and she looks in the closet, and remember earlier when Frederica was on the slab, she sees the two diamond panels. She looks in the wardrobe and sees a dress pattern for 2 diamond panels, and that to her is like the big giveaway. Like, I'm pretty sure literally the scene immediately after this is her being like, he's making a suit. See? Lovely gowns.
Calumet City. As we all know.
I also think they, like, spelt that wrong as well. I think Calumet is spelled with a Q, but go off. I mean, I could also be wrong, but...
Calumet ultimately means what?
I don't fucking know.
Peace pipe.
Oh, there you go.
It's it was something that was pointed out in The Shining by, I don't know if you ever watch it. I definitely want to do an episode on the
Room 237.
Yeah, I want to do an episode on that.
saw your little Amazon previously watched list. I saw you was watching that yesterday or so.
So, like, I think that's a really interesting thing because, like, it's definitely,
but it's all theory.
It's all theory. She's also making a soap.
This fucking picture of Frederica is
everywhere.
There's like 5 of them in the fucking house. It's ridiculous.
Aww.
But yeah, we do get the sense that Frederica is probably like 18, 19.
Yeah.
You know, I think even when she goes around, I really actually love this part where Clarice goes around and starts talking to her friend that we see in the picture and stuff. Oh, this is it. Hey, mister, your dog's really hurt down here.
Your dog's real hurt, mister.
You don't know what pain is.
Well, at least she's not a great big fat person anymore.
Not anymore. I'm going on the Buffalo Bill diet. I'll just throw myself in a hole, shall I? Oh, this
my God.
song. I unironically absolutely fucking love this song, but this is the scene.
So...
Oh, go up.
Oh, we can't, because...
Go up a little. We're talking over it.
Oh
also,
my God, I love
gonna...
how the dog is just perfectly manicured.
It's a scalp. I never noticed that when I was younger.
Oh, get off.
I love it though. Would
Can you
fuck
just
me?
imagine him writing a lipstick message to the other girls?
Would you
I never
fuck me?
made it, but you guys go
You know
all the
what?
way to the crown.
If I see, there's the Jesus tattoo. I love it so much.
The G's.
With the nipple piercing right above and everything. But like if I ever get on Drag Race, that'll be my line.
Oh my
When
god.
I leave or whatever.
You walk
Would you
straight
fuck me?
into
I'd fuck me.
the workroom.
Fake nipple. Fake
the
nipple.
Irishified workroom. And whoa.
Dirty fucking hands and
Oh,
everything.
gross. And like you walk into the workroom wearing nothing but a
Human
fucking
skin.
kimono, a fake human skin, and you go,
Tucked.
would you fuck me?
Yeah. Would you fuck me? I'd fuck me.
Please come on, precious.
I'd fuck. That literally looks like me. Oh. I'd fuck me so hard.
I'd fuck me hard.
But I remember when I first saw this, I think I was, oh god,
Yes.
not pearlescent
Get
lipstick.
your life.
Bill
Yeah.
Williams, stop. Would you fuck me? This is literally a video of me getting ready to go out. I'd fuck me. I'd fuck me so hard.
I will say, right, that
I'd fuck me. But when I first saw this, when we
I'd fuck
see
me
him,
so
when
hard.
we get to see the reveal, I didn't know what I was looking at. 'Cause
Yes.
I don't think I was. Well, I mean, as a kid, everybody kind of took. I feel like, but
Oh, absolutely.
I kind of
I
was
did it.
like, well, exactly. But I kind of saw this and kind of was like, does he have a vagina? Like, I was not familiar with those concepts yet.
Yes.
But this song, I hate that this song is. Well, no, I do love this song, but it's hilarious that it's associated with this moment because I actually really like Q Lazarus, but this song it's so good. It's my walking around in the rain song.
I would just like to imagine what the end. Oh, also this part here, right?
Improvised.
This was improvised. So
But
when
it
he
goes with
tucks
it
his
so
dick,
well.
it does it so well. It's so well done.
That's your Met Gala outfit. But I remember kind of see, we tread lines very differently now than we did when this movie would come out.
Yeah, but
I remember
also
kind of
we
looking
were
at it being
at least 15 years younger than what we are now and what we
Yeah,
understand
for real.
it to be.
Oh, okay, this is it. There's my favorite line here, or one of my favorite lines. She's like, "What, big zombie."
Freddie was so happy for me when I got this job at the bank. Toaster giveaways and Barry Manilow on the speakers all day.
Barry Manilow.
It was such hot shit. Machino, big dummy.
I don't know why that's so funny to me.
So
A Jamie Gum or a Jame Gum, the singular of Jamie, or the singular of James is Jame. Apparently, when have you ever heard the name Jame?
so
Sewing was her life.
something was our life.
bro. But I remember seeing that scene with Buffalo Bill and kind of just being I don't know, disturbed by it, because it was one of those things. That was a scene I had seen on the internet before I'd ever actually seen this movie. It was this, and not the end, but where she's in the basement and all that. And I remember just being it was that turkey head kind of Lovecraft moment where it was just what the but I was like, what the fuck am I looking at? I don't actually understand what I'm seeing.
Oh god.
Oh, you hate bugs.
No,
Look how
he just
cute
pulled
it is.
He just pulled the head off.
No, he pulled the cocoon off. He pulled it out of the cocoon.
Oh, gross. So powerful, so beautiful. But
Your dog's real hurt, mister.
I also agree with
Get
that.
me your phone down here now. Sorry.
I also agree with that as well. When I first saw this, I also didn't really understand fully what transsexual meant at the time when I first watched it.
No, I thought transsexual was more of a broad term where it was just anybody that dresses up like a woman.
Yeah.
As a child, I thought that. Or I think even kind of the general consensus was I as a kid would have considered Buffalo Bill as in the same thing as Frankenfurter, or also the same thing as Divine or a drag queen. But also there were women in movies back in the day when we were younger that were quote unquote a little bit suspicious looking or whatever like that. But it never was that's not a woman. Do you know what I mean? You still go with it as a kid. You don't think about it too hard as a child.
Yeah, so
This is past tense, by the way.
It is. No, it 100% is, because, like, again, like, you're very, especially with parents of, like, you know, being straight, is you're not entirely in that world.
He's got Nazi shit in this basement, by the way.
So, like, you don't necessarily grow up with a lot of that influence. So, like, as soon as you see something like a Buffalo Bill, your mind is, like, racing in so many different directions.
Yeah,
that
like
you have
it
no
opens
idea.
up new questions that you kind
Exactly.
of didn't have before.
Exactly.
Because Buffalo Bill is also not the same as
A trans woman,
as like a
or trans
Frankenfurter
man.
or anything like that, because Frankenfurter was a
cross-dresser.
transvestite crossdresser,
Yes.
which is just like there's no intention to become the other thing or to pass off as the other thing. It's
The
just
sexual
a
kick
quote
from it.
unquote man. Okay, here it is. Sorry. It's such a great like scene as well, like the twist though as well.
They also used that in Black Phone, which I hated. It was fucking awfully used in that.
You know what? I liked the Black Phone a little bit, but
I liked it, but like I
the
saw
ending
that
was a
twist
little-
coming.
Yeah.
You know, and I was like, it was.
Okay, here it
done
is. Here it
better.
is.
No one here, Jack.
Word. Clarice.
Your name is?
Jack Warden.
Well, Frederica used to work for Mrs. Whitman. Did you know her?
Word.
Oh, wait.
Was she a great big fat person? Yes, sir. She was big also. I feel like we say that to each other at least once every time we hang out.
So, like, I love his acting ability as well. I got to admit, he does this sort of thing where, especially when he's trying to act quote unquote straight, shall we say?
Yeah.
He does it in such a strange way that, you know, especially because obviously the audience knows what he's doing, but like Clarice is just suspicious of him, right? And in the context of what he's trying to do, makes it all the more unsettling, because he's only like faintly acting in order to portray the fact that he's not the killer. Do you know what I mean?
in his mind, he's already decided to kill Clarice.
Oh, absolutely. As soon as he let her in, he was like, I'm going to murder
where
her.
she checks her corners, and she does the thing where like he looks away for a second, and she just and butterflies. We get a lot of that motif in this house.
Yes, I love the way the camera just quite literally panned over.
Like it's a clue for her.
Yeah.
In movie, but you can see where he turns away for a sec, and she's like again she's picking all this up.
Yes.
You know, this is her really
Reading
putting
the
it together, all the
room.
tools that she's had, and she just kind of for a sec just opens the gun for a sec, just opens the holster for a sec, because that Death's Head moth confirms it for her.
Yeah.
Like, this is the guy, this is my fucking guy. But she's alone, so she's gonna have to put like all of the shit that she's gone through in this movie so far to the test. Now there it is, clever girl, and it's so smooth and everything. And like he knows he's caught.
Yes, like he doesn't even remotely try from this moment on. Very good, Mr. Gordon.
See, he knows that she knows now.
Oh,
That look right there where she's just like, fuck, I'm gonna have to do this. Freeze! Oh, and she sticks it. I almost wonder whether that was intentional or whether that was like an on-set kind of fuck up.
Yeah.
But like, again, it shows that Clarice, again, she's not a professional. Like in at least like the physical part of it. Like she, like the intellect is all like in her head, at least for now.
yeah.
But she does learn to check her corners, because we see in that scene earlier she's dead. If you don't check your corner, you're dead. That's where
Yes.
your blind spot is, and it works out for her. But this movie, I remember seeing the end of this, and like I don't know why this is one that like really, really, really made my heart pound, because you want her to get it so bad, and like
Yeah.
because you're rooting for Clarice so much.
Yeah, because like right up until this point, there's absolutely, I mean, up until she catches him, there's absolutely no reason to believe that, shall we say, you know, based off of all the men in the film, that a woman could do such a thing.
Yeah, like if we're to look at it from kind of the outside or whatever, or if we're to take the men's side from it, she's supposed to be just a woman, quote unquote, or like incompetent because she's a woman.
Yes.
But because again, like she has all these weird different clues that the men just wouldn't pick up on.
Yes.
Which led her straight there, and it's just by doing her own investigation and by thinking kind of in the mind of a woman how she would get there. Catherine Martin! Don't leave me down here, you bitch! Oh god.
Yeah.
Don't leave me here!
And also, like, when you're coming down into love this. Yeah. Oh, look, so you have him in the background in this.
And there's the suit.
There's the suit.
Love your suit.
So, like,
I actually would love that as a costume or something, though. Like a woman's suit. Or like a woman's gown
like that,
or something.
The Texas Chainsaw thing.
Dahlia Black did a flesh gown. Not in this way, but in like panels of flesh. It's kind of a Paco Rabanne, but made of flesh.
Love it. But I love the sense that you are quite literally moving into the belly of the beast.
It is. It's like it's kind of how
it's so gross that you could, as a viewer, you can smell it. You know?
It smells like Ohio.
Oh,
And if you're Catherine Martin, it's like, oh my god, just figure it out, just get me the fuck out of here. You know, like if I'm her, I'm like, I don't give a fuck what you're doing, get me out of this fucking hole first.
Yeah.
Because if Clarice is dead, she's fucked. Like, she's so over being in that hole.
Oh yeah.
Ew, and it's the fact that she's barefoot as well. The idea of being barefoot on
in
like
a well,
wet stone, and there's like
muck
there's
and
blankets
moss
and shit down there. It's all gross and dingy. Like, yeah, you know what that smells like. You ever smell like the end of a bag of potatoes that have gone to rot, kind of like just mulch, like.
She's just so.
I'm so glad Irish people don't have basements, bro.
Oh my god.
I mean, you can't really do this in an attic, you know. Believe me, I've tried. She just shoots Catherine like, fuck off, bro.
You're already getting on my nerves.
I'm actually at work right now. You know? Clarice isn't even getting paid for this. She's in school.
Yeah.
Fucking hell, man.
Wait, she gets the position after this, doesn't she?
Yeah, she gets her badge. That's like the last scene.
Yeah.
Oh, it's when she breaks into the bathroom and she gets to see Mrs. Littman in the bath, and it's just like poo. But it's just like the Golgotha. Have you ever seen
the Golgotha, the shit
from
demon?
Dogma? Yeah. It's literally just the Golgotha.
Oh god, it's sort of.
I think that's the scene right before the lights go out. But they really make him into a bug in this.
I was just about to say that.
It's the way he crawls around and stuff like that, and the like the lenses he has, the night vision goggles.
Yeah,
they really make him like insectoid or something like that. Is this even picking me up?
Of course it is.
Okay, gorgeous. Oh, here it is. The Golgotha.
Oh,
that's Texas Chainsaw 2 right there.
Oh, that is gross. That's incredibly brave of him to stand right there in front of her with a loaded gun.
I know, he doesn't really try and hide it at all, because he like reaches straight out in front of her face and everything. Like, he touches her.
But also, can I just say,
like,
even
he could have just killed her right there and then if you wanted to.
Even in night vision, there is a small light.
Yeah, you can still see stuff.
You can still see stuff.
Also, when they show us him, he's just lit from above. Look.
Yeah.
I suppose, though, if she's just gone from bright light to dark, it'll take a few minutes for you to adjust. But like, yeah,
you ever
this
walk
is
out from like high bright sunshine into the house.
Yeah, or like when you turn your phone off after
so
like being on your phone in the dark room, you can't see shit. But this was the first scene I ever saw.
Oh, Nazi memorabilia.
Yeah, like not
look at this mad cunt. As if you needed any more reasons.
I was going to say, on top of being a murderer, he's also a Nazi.
Also a Nazi. Oh god.
But
he's in his drag closet. You're not supposed to be in his drag closet.
It smells in here, but for a different reason.
It's all the tuck patties on the floor.
Like, look, this is so stupid, and it does just play to like his arrogance that he doesn't think that she's going to do anything about it.
Yeah,
you know, again,
I love the way she does
her
that
because
thing,
she's
like,
a woman. Yeah, she moves away from it like just. But even the way when he dies, he's on the ground and he's like this, like a bug, like he's behaving like a bug. Oh god, it's one of those moments of just like such relief though, where it's just like, fuck yeah, dude, you go, girl. See, like a little bug. But no, this was the first scene I saw from this. I saw it on YouTube. Because even in, I actually don't think this appeared on
James Gunn.
James singular. But I actually don't think this appeared.
They
on...
certainly don't go by they then.
No.
Bill Skins fifth.
Damn, dude.
Well, at least he was patriotic.
Say more buffalo shit. Or buffalo shit, butterfly shit? He's actually just very into buffaloes, is what it is. He's raising buffaloes down there.
Whole herds of them.
That'd be cool.
In a basement?
Oh, also, yeah, she...
Keeps the dog.
Yeah, that's so cool.
Aww, Precious. I wonder would she still call him Precious, though?
It's his name.
Yeah, but call him a different name.
No, that's fucked up.
No?
Would you start calling your cat something different out of nowhere?
If another person knew it?
Now, I feel like if you adopt an animal, you can't really rename it. Like, if you adopt an animal that was previously owned by somebody, like, that's their name. Like, that's the noise they respond to. At least for dogs. I don't know.
Well,
how
I
it
mean,
works
your
for
dog
cats.
responds to Dr. Lecter.
He responds negatively. He doesn't... He doesn't...
Yes!
He
Give you the double thumbs up,
Yeah.
girl!
Look, he's, like, reluctantly... Did you ever, in an assembly, when, like, somebody you didn't like was singing, you would,
You're
like...
just like...
Or you would, like, do this. Like, you would clap with, like, a pinky or something like that.
I would do
Fuck
this
yeah.
sometimes.
That looks like
That
good
is
cake.
delicious.
Oh, look, it's like
Oh.
all frosting. Fuck yeah.
Look at the side. Oh my
her
god.
hair, though.
That's
Jesus
like
Christ.
I love how like it's the very early 90s, but they're still the older women in the room are still wearing the hair from the 80s.
She
It's
hairsprayed
great.
it while she was upside down. Now look, like, this is that shot I was talking about where he's like, look, take a picture. See?
I love it.
What do you mean, congratulations? She give me like 50 grand for that fucking thing, bro.
Yeah, fuck you. Most of the time, a lot of people are like, you know, the FBI are stupid. They just saved your ass. She just saved your ass.
She just saved the world.
She sure fucking did, man. Sure fucking did.
Oh, shake her hand. Yes.
Yes.
Ooh, firm grip and everything.
Oh, yeah.
I'm having an old friend for dinner.
Oh,
I'm
the
eating
play
an old
on
friend.
words. I would have been like, shut up.
Have the lamb stop screaming. Dr. Lecter.
Where are you, Dr. Lecter?
Except you absolutely fucking do. I've seen the next movie.
He does,
They
doesn't
like
he?
meet back up and stuff, but I think she's investigating him. Like she goes after him. Oh yeah, that's the whole thing. She's going after him. He's not going after her. Having an old friend for dinner. This wig though, it's so
Oh
bad.
my god. Can I just... I mean, the hat sort of fixes it, I suppose. Like, you can't fully see him in it. But, like...
Dr. Lecter. So dumb. But you know, my dog responds very, very negatively to that sound.
Yeah, he is fully just
Triggered. He hates
triggered.
it,
Like, he'll begin to growl, and then...
bro. I don't know what the fuck it is, though. I think it's... I don't know. I think he, like, perceives it as threatening or something. But...
Oh, God. This is his fucking holiday in the Bahamas.
I'm also pretty sure at the end of Hannibal, he is eating Chilton's kidney or something on the plane. Remember he gives it to the kid?
Oh my god, yes!
Yeah.
Oh, that's so true, yeah. Look at that.
But I also would have been very happy with... Like, I know it's a book series, and this is the middle book. Ugh, my fucking tooth. I know it's the middle book, but I would have been very happy with the series, like, ending right there. Like, if this was a standalone movie.
It kind of just doesn't need anything else to it. It's
no, and it's
perfect.
annoying because they make the next movie like 10 years later, and Anthony Hopkins is like considerably
Older looking.
older and bigger. Like, it... I know that sounds kind of, like, insulting, but it just, like...
It's true.
I don't know, it seems, like, less believable that he would be, like, getting around and doing all this stuff as, like, a considerably older-looking man, because he would have been in his 60s by then.
Yeah.
And it was supposed to be taking place, like, beforehand.
Oh,
but they try to make him look young by giving him a ponytail. It's so bad. It's like in, I forget which Saw movie it is, where they try and make Jigsaw look like a normal young guy by giving him, like, a goatee and, like, a backwards cap and a hoodie. It looks terrible. Or no, is it in Harry Potter where they put Voldemort in, like, the civilian clothing for a scene or two?
Oh, yeah.
Or he's like, I know he's like at least in a suit at one point, and it's like,
what are you doing?
yeah. Creep.
Well,
okay, so that was credits.
Yeah, credits, man.
That was pretty fucking good. Yeah.
So, that was our live commentary on Silence of the Lambs. Is it The Silence of the Lambs?
The
or
Silence
is it
of the
Silence
Lambs.
of the Lambs?
The Silence of the Lambs.
The Silence. I have to remember that now.
It is not a Silence of the Lambs. It is the premier Silence of Lambs.
And actually, come to think of it, I mean, apart from obviously if you had read the book, this is the first time you would have ever heard of Hannibal Lecter.
No.
Oh, of course, because Manhunter came before it.
Played by Brian Cox, who played, I know him from X-Men as William Stryker. He's also the old guy who gets killed by Jack in Trick or Treat.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, who has the standoff, the bus driver. Yeah, that's him.
Ah.
He is also the dad in Red Eye, which I only watched 2 nights ago for the first time in forever.
Wow.
It's actually very good. It's so fucking camp.
It's a good thriller.
It's a Wes Craven movie.
So, what are we doing next week?
Diana L. Stoughton. Sorry.
That sounds like a fun time.
Do you know how you like really... Donna Blajak.
Blagovich.
Stephen Sherry's-Jean. Okay. So next week...
Gary Costco.
I actually don't know what the fuck we're doing next week.
That's a good
Because
question.
this was my choice. We need to have an... Like, it's not even that they're having an affair. It's the fact that she's dating him and he's divorced is the scandal. That's why she doesn't want anybody to find out that they're together. Not because they're, like, cheating on anybody. It's that he's a divorcee.
And what film is that?
Psycho. Oh, lol. So, yeah. Also, one of these days, I do want to do the 98 version. Because, like, I know it's quote-unquote shot for shot, but it's culturally different. Because it's a different context. We look at things differently.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, your choice next week.
Is Schmeiko.
Yeah.
Love a
Alfred
bit of
Hitchcock.
Schmeiko.
Fuck it.
Yeah.
Nice. There she is. My
So-
girl.
Hey girl, hi.
Not Joan Bjork.
So I know the one you were talking.
Well,
So,
I don't know. There's 3 options up there. That could be me.
You have been listening to
They're Here podcast. Let us know if you want us to do more commentaries. That was fun.
That was a good time. I
Yeah.
enjoyed it.
I didn't
think
have
it
to
was
take any fucking notes.
We just had a good time the whole time. So next week is Psycho, and we're continuing our
True crime?
true crime serial killer month.
Yeah.
Per se.
Non-slasher serial killer month.
Yes, I think we'll go in that route.
Mother.
Has
Yeah.
arrived. All right, make sure to like, subscribe, follow us on YouTube, and subscribe to us on Instagram for some daily updated content.
We're having an old friend for dinner.
It's a great time. Bye.
Bye.